right, so we done found some houses online. We went and we saw some houses, either all of us together in person or at the very least me shooting some video or video conference around the property as we kind of walking and talking. You fall in love with one. What's next? We make an offer. What's in that offer? Well, keep watching this video because we're going to talk about what's in that offer. Once you've seen these properties and you've absolutely fallen in love with one, maybe I'm going a little bit over the top saying fallen in love, but maybe you really, really, really like a house and you're to the point where you're saying, I like it enough to make an offer. What does that mean? How do we do it? What goes into it? We're going to talk through all of that stuff right now. When it comes to making an offer, one of the first things that needs to be done is we need to figure out an offer price. The best way to figure out an offer price is going to be to look at the comps, the comparable properties that are in that tight-knit area that are going to give you the best indication of what the value of that home is. When you're looking to find the value of a house, you want to use what has recently sold, because everything that's listed and that's on the market now, that is competition. Everything that has recently sold, that has given us exactly what those numbers are, so we can compare and contrast based on condition, location, and all those things if our house should be listed with the top, or based on all those different factors, should our house be priced in the middle or at the bottom end of those ranges. Based on that location and the condition of the property, we have to come up with what is the appropriate price that we should offer on that property. Once we come up with that offer price, then we're going to talk about earnest money deposit. So this is your good faith deposit. Basically, you're saying, I am going to follow all the guidelines and all the things that I wrote down and signed in this contract. If I don't, then you would be entitled to take this earnest money deposit. A lot of times your earnest money deposit is usually going to be in that 1% to 2% range. So if it's a $500,000 house, then anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 is typically what I've seen as earnest money deposits. Then we have to figure out the down payment and financed amount, right? So how much are you putting down? Typically this number is expressed as a percentage, right? So you'll hear an FHA loan, you only have to put 3.5% down. That is 3.5% of the purchase price. So when you put down that down payment, your down payment is how much equity that you're looking to buy into that property right out the gate. If you put 20% down on the purchase price of that house, then you would be borrowing 80% of the value of that house from the bank. Your down payment would be 20%, your financed amount would be 80%. As we're filling out the contract, there's going to be important dates that we have to fill in there. These important dates are things like home inspection, appraisal, financing contingency, the length of time it's going to take for the lender to close the loan. All of that information will be provided to your real estate agent from your lender. So whenever we do decide to write an offer to purchase a house, one of the first things that I always do is I call our loan officer, I call the lender, and I ask about those things specifically. What are the timelines? How long do you guys need for appraisal? What do you need from a financing contingency? How long is it going to take you guys to close the loan? The next thing that I jump right on top of is setting up things like home inspection, right? Because in the contract, you're going to have a window in which you can conduct things like home inspections. So if you have a home inspection written into your contract, or you just want to plain old have one done, the seller has to give you the right to have that home inspected. Now, if it is contingent in the contract, then you have a window, you have a period of time in which you have to have a home inspection done, get the results back, have the opportunity to review those results, and then pass along your input, feedback, things that you need changes or corrections made to, or whatever the case may be, concessions towards closing costs, all of that stuff. And then you have a window in which you have to get all that stuff done and have that submitted to the listing agents to make sure that everybody's on the same page, or to make any corrections that are asked for, or negotiate terms based on what is in that report from the home inspection. Then we will sit down and review the inclusions in the house. So what they have listed as these items are coming with the house. They will convey with the purchase of this house. We will look through that stuff, and if there's anything else in the property that you've seen when you've walked through or when we did our video tour, if you see things in the property that you would like to include in the purchase as well, we can go through that, include those things, talk with the listing agent so that they can talk to the seller to see if we can negotiate those into the contract as well. Once we package all that stuff up and we write it out in this whole long contract, because real estate contracts are not short in the state of Maryland or in Washington, D.C. Once we submit that stuff, one of three things typically happens. Offer is accepted, which is like, yeah, we got the house. Offer is rejected, which is like, we didn't get the house. Or they negotiate. They say, hey, we like this, but we don't like this. Can we change this? If you can change this, then we have a deal. If you can't change that, then we have to come up with something else. So basically negotiating the terms and trying to figure out what makes this situation a win-win for both sides. Once we do all that and we get that bad boy accepted, we step into the next video, which is all about the next steps once we get an offer accepted. So stay tuned to the next video here, and we will talk through what happens once you get your offer accepted.